Hi guys, welcome to another episode of LindaFIT Radio. Today we have Maggs and Nicole. They're two first-time NPC bikini competitors. They're going to do Governor's Cup at the end of this month, actually. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your super busy schedule, especially with prep, to be on the show for, a few minutes. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
How are you guys feeling? Was today a good day?
Today was a great day.
Lots of energy?
Yeah, I had it. What was that?
Lots of energy?
Lots of energy, and it was my day off, and it was a nice day outside, so I really enjoyed my day today.
Yeah, that's good. Good. All right. So, just to kind of let everyone who's listening know your background, both Nicole and Maggs are actually first-time bikini competitors, and they first started with me just regular online coaching, and then they wanted to take that next step and challenge themselves, so they decided to do a 12-week prep and get ready for a bikini show. Has it been what you guys expected?
No. Not for me.
Yeah. It's definitely harder than your normal online coaching.
Yeah. What
I think the hardest part for me has just been like managing every single thing that goes into it, and that was different than just my first 12 weeks of online coaching was just, eating right, working out. That was it. There wasn't a whole lot of, mental part of it, and this prep has been mentally and emotionally kind of like a roller coaster for me. So I definitely was not prepared for that aspect of it.
What part though? Trust me, I understand what you mean, but what exactly? What's the biggest difference? What kind of affects you more, on a mental and physical level than if you were just doing 12 weeks of online coaching? What about it exactly is the part that like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go study?
I would say like just the emotions that go into it, because you're spending so much time and energy, whether when you're not at the gym, you're thinking about when your next trip to the gym has to be, and when you're not eating, you're thinking about when your next meal has to be, and it's mentally exhausting. And so by mentally exhausting yourself all the time, then you're emotional, and then, that kind of, it seems like half of the time it just snowballs for me anyways. I don't know. There's really, really great days that I don't even, have any issues, and then there's some days that I just want to, like, lay in my bed all day and cry and be sad for myself. So, I don't know.
What
it's
about...
hard to pinpoint one thing exactly that's hard about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that your, like, outside environment helps or makes it worse?
For me, it makes it harder.
And that's you, Max. It makes it harder. What part of it makes it harder?
Yeah, for me, it makes it a little bit hard. I mean, for like outside environment, like for example, like being at work, since I'm a server, so I work in restaurants. So prepping for comp, the food and the meals are a little bit more stricter, especially when it comes to closer to show date. Mm-hmm. And I'm always around food, always, like 5 to 6 days out of the week. So when you have those cravings or when you really want something and I'm there and it's like always in front of me, I'm like, that's probably one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with, like work and prepping, and then also the late hours that I work as well, and trying to balance my schedule with prepping food, going to the gym, and all that stuff.
Yeah. And I think for both of you guys, it seems like it's more of this like mental thing where you just need, to have everything planned out. Like if anything kind of affects that schedule, it's all bad from there. You have a certain time you need to work out. You have certain times that you need to eat meals. You have certain times that, you need to do your cardio, your weight training, everything. So if that gets affected in any way, it just throws you off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's huge, and
Yeah.
it can set off your whole day. Like,
Yeah.
for me, anyways, if I don't allow myself enough time at the gym, and I have to leave early, and I wasn't planning on going back, then it just throws everything off for me. So that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like being set on the schedule. I like having my days planned out and all of that. And definitely, if something throws it off, it definitely I'm like, yeah, now it's just gonna make it harder.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, and this is, I'm all over the place, but what do you think is the biggest misconception about bikini prep? Like, and that could have been your own misconception, but just something that when you committed to this, you were like, okay, I'm really going to do this, Linda, let's start this prep. And then 4 weeks in, you're like, shoot, I had never, ever thought about that. What did I get myself into? You're all everything.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm like, how do I answer that?
I wouldn't. For me, I don't know if it would necessarily be a something that a misconception. It would just be something that I didn't know about, was like the extreme fatigue that my body was going to feel, because I had been, dieting and exercising through your plans for, at least 24 weeks, because I did 2 different sessions. And so I just thought, like, okay, I can totally do this. It's going to be different, but I wasn't expecting my body to react the way that it has, with the different foods and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's necessarily a misconception, but that was one thing that I wasn't prepared for at all.
Right. And it's just, and I think a lot of that fatigue comes from just like mental stress. If you're stressing out, your body's going to react. Like, stress plays such a big influence on how your body feels. And so it's mentally, you're completely stressed from the second you wake up. I mean, I only know a few people who have taken prep, and have had 100% like, awesome time, and they're crazy. But usually it's just the stress that comes in with from the second you wake up, you're already thinking about what you're going to do for that whole day, and nothing can affect it. So you're already putting all this stress on your body. On top of that, you're doing cardio, you have a very strict meal plan. So it's something that you're right, you can't really, it's not such a misconception, it's just something that you have never experienced before. So it's like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually want both of you guys to answer this. So whoever wants to take a shot at it first. Excuse me. Family and friends, significant others, or significant other, not plural. You better not be having more than one.
Just one.
We're on the radio, so if the truth's gonna come out, it might as well come out now. No, I'm only kidding. Have they been supportive? Have they been more of like, you're bringing me down, I need this support, and it's even harder because I don't have it? Has it been I've been in this plan for 4 weeks, and now my parents are just jumping on, on ship? Like, how has it been with having the family, friends, significant other with this journey?
For me,
go ahead, Meg.
For me, well, since I live with my boyfriend, he's been very, very helpful and stuff. He definitely has supported me from the beginning. He helps me like prep my food and do all of that, so that's been great. Friends, they've been very supportive as well. I mean, of course, there's the people that don't understand exactly what it is and question you, like, why do you have to eat that way, or, don't lose weight, you're already fine the way you are, and you get all those comments and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's been it's been good. The only one that doesn't really fully understand is my mom, and that was a hard one for me because she doesn't really understand the whole process of it. And all she was saying, looking at it in the beginning, was, why are you losing weight? Why are you doing this? You're too thin, or this and that. And I have to try to explain to her, too, because that's something that she doesn't know and she's not very familiar with. The whole bodybuilding and everything, she's not very familiar with any of that. It's all brand new to her. So that was like a hard one for me for the first few weeks. Now it's better. Now she understands, and now she knows that it's something that I wanted to do and for myself, and it's been great.
That's good. That's really good. And I think how do I put this? For the people who are a little like, what are you doing? I think once they see how hard you're working, and once they see how committed and driven you are towards, whatever it is, I think whatever you're doing, as long as you show some kind of commitment, drive, and just like, you put your heart into it, your family, your friends, everyone will start noticing. I think, and especially bodybuilding. I mean, how common is that? Hey, Mom,
Yeah.
I'm at the bikini bodybuilding show. I'm wearing this itsy bitsy piece of cloth, and I want you to be on board, and I want you to be very supportive of me. You know what I mean? That's
My mom. Yeah, and then I'm Mexican, so when I showed my mom the picture of like my bikini, she's like, "Oh my God,
Or she's like,
you're gonna
I
wear
need
that in front of how many people?" Yes, exactly. That's exactly her reaction. "Ay, mija, what are you gonna wear that in front of people?" And I'm like, I was laughing. I thought it was funny, but that was exactly her reaction, because it's totally like, it's like a culture thing maybe too, because she's not used to that, and it's like, oh, what is your boyfriend going to say? What is this? What are people going to think? I'm like, Mom, it's fine,
Yeah. What about you, Nicole?
For me, my family's been so supportive really from the get-go. A couple weeks into prep, a good friend of mine that actually is a bikini competitor also, she had sent me a link to this blog that was written by this girl who was a bikini competitor, and she kind of talked about like all the struggles through prep and like all the things that a person who's prepping doesn't want to hear. And so I sent it to my family and my friends, and they all read it, and it kind of was like a light bulb all of a sudden for everyone. Like, okay, we shouldn't question what you're eating. Okay, we shouldn't, say comments about what you're doing, or that you spend too much time doing, workouts or whatever. And so they kind of all really came together and embraced the process with me, and that's been really, really helpful. My boyfriend's been supportive also. I think it's just the hardest for him because he gets the brunt of, like, all my mood swings, because he's normally the person that I spend the most time with. So when I'm having an off day, he's the one that gets, the short end of the stick on that. So that's been hard for us. That we have had some challenges with that, but and then, friends, I have a certain handful of friends that are very supportive and text me at 5 a.m. because they know I'm at the gym, and they try and help me out and that sort of thing. And then I have some friends that, same thing, don't really get it. So it's hard to be supportive of something that you don't understand, and I try to understand that too. Not everyone's going to get it. And so you can't really support something that you don't understand,
Right.
But I would say overall it's been a really positive experience for me as far as like having a good support system.
It's good. What about future shows? Do you guys are you going to see how this kind of rides out? Or do you feel like this is something you want to continue doing? Or just a one-time thing? This was great, but no thanks. What do you guys think? And I know, answers can always change, but just based off of how you're feeling right now, and, you're, 3 weeks out? 3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
With all that.
It'll be 3 on Saturday,
Yeah. I'm sure all the excitement is building up now, so you're not so far away. You're not, 8 weeks, 9 weeks out. You're pretty close. So, any kind of change of heart, like I might not do this again?
For me, I'm waiting to see, like right now I feel fine. Like the date seems just around the corner, and I'm getting so excited about it. For me, I'm not saying that I'm not going to do another one. I just want to see how I feel, like once I'm on stage, because that's probably one of my biggest things too. Like I've always had a big problem being in front of people, and being the center of attention makes me really nervous. And I think I've talked to you about this one, that like I just go blank and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it, and if it all turns out, good, like how I'm planning it will turn out, or for me feeling up on stage, then I would definitely consider doing another show. I don't know when, but I'm not saying, this is my one and only time and then I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and I would say for me, initially it was kind of one of those things where I was like, hey, I could do that. I could check that off of my bucket list and say I've done that, and now I'm feeling more and more like wanting to get better and wanting to be better, and let's see how the show goes, and then maybe try and do better the next time at a different show. So I don't really know.
yeah.
I want to feel out how show day goes and all that stuff. If you would have asked me like week 3 of prep, I would have said, hell no, I'm never doing this again. It's so hard. But now that, like you said, like the excitement's building up, we get to get our suits soon, we'll get to, there's a lot that goes into it. And all the hard work, I feel like I'm finally starting to see my body really transform, and that's exciting for me. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no for sure, but I wouldn't say yes and put me on for another 12-week prep starting in 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Before,
I need some.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I just need like a mental break.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, totally. And I don't recommend doing
definitely.
back-to-back shows unless you really want to. So before I let you guys go and get some sleep, because I know you guys have crazy hours, what's one thing, and we can actually even take a minute to think about this, what's one thing for a someone, because there's going to be girls listening who are, possibly thinking about doing a show. What's one piece of advice that you would give to a girl who's, or a woman who's considering doing a show? So not necessarily, make sure that you stick to your meals or make sure you complete your cardio. Not that. I'm not looking for advice. I'm looking for, make sure that you have the right mindset before you go into this. It's not everything that you expect, kind of advice like that, something for them to think about before committing to a 6, 8, 12-week prep. You know what I'm looking for? Kind of.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
I would say make sure that you feel like you have a strong foundation of support, because that's been so absolutely key for me, and then we have a lot of support from you, Linda, and I appreciate that so much. But you're, a text message away or a phone call away or a trip down to the Bay Area away, but your people that you're around all the time, like family and friends, those people are the people that, really, really make the difference. So if you're, married to someone that's not going to support that, or your parents are like, no, probably not, I think that would be a really big struggle. So for me, that would be my biggest piece of advice. Like, make sure you know that you have people's support.
Definitely.
Yeah, I second what Nicole says. That's definitely a big part during prep. And also, maybe don't compare your, because I've had a hard time sometimes where I'm like, I'm having a really great day, and then I start comparing if I start even thinking the slightest comparing myself to others, then I get really bummed out and stuff. And I'm like, you have to remember that you are doing this for your own reasons, and you have to, be proud of whatever progress you've done, and be proud of what you've accomplished for yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody else, in a sense.
Very true. I blame social media.
Yeah.
Social media, yes.
All right, my lovely ladies. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to, answer all these questions. I know that, you guys have a lot to do and you guys are all stressed out and stuff like that. So it's much appreciated.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Of course.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you for having us, Linda.
Of course. Have a good night and thank you.
You too.
Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.